One. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Stephanie and I am known as Opinionated Horsewoman, and today I am going to do a fun, I believe it's 21 questions tag, and I found this list of questions off of YouTuber Cici, and I will link Cici's channel below. Check her out after this as well. You'll be able to find her video with these questions. I thought they were kind of fun and slightly mortifying. So what it is 21 questions about high school. So before we get into it, I hope you guys take a second and would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I have been working really hard. I have a giveaway going on. It is basically a Happy New Year, Happy January, Happy Birthday, because my birthday month was January, and also a push to get my channel to 1,500 subscribers. So I will link the video here that you will need to check out to see all the goodies I'm giving away, in that it's a big giveaway. I'm going to have two winners. My goal is to hit 1,500 subscribers and then close it. If that just takes too long, I may end up closing it down early, but it is open right now. It's only been open for, it's less than 2 weeks. So check that video out. You'll need to watch the video and make sure you understand all the rules and follow all the rules. So hope you'll do that. You'll need to be subscribed. So hit that red button down below. If you shade the bell in, there's a bell right next to that red button. Shade it in, you'll be notified by YouTube anytime I upload a new video. So let's get into 21 questions about high school. And the reason I'm making faces about high school is, first of all, it was a long time ago for me. And second of all, I didn't, you know, my high school experience wasn't like wonderful, you know. I don't know. It was stressful. Very cliquey school. It was considered the Richie Rich school. A lot of children of people with a lot of money went there, and so there was a lot. It was just, you know, typical high school. Very cliquey. If you ever watched the movie The Breakfast Club, which is my generation, absolutely was the movie of our generation, and legit, like, that movie goes through all the different cliques. Somebody from each of the different cliques is in that movie, and they're all kind of thrown together in detention. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. You got to check it out. But yeah, so my high school experience was, I mean, I survived it. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't a lot of fun. So a very stressful time. I think a lot of people found it very stressful, you know, and some people have fond memories of it. I just have memories of it going, I just worked hard to get out of there as quick as I could. Get done, get through school, and get to college. So this should be interesting. I copied these, like I said, from Cici's channel. I will link her, like I said, her channel down below. Check her out. She is a super fun gal. I find her to be a lot of fun to watch. She is definitely a friend. So be sure to check her out. Subscribe if you're not. Okay, so got them on the laptop here. Here we go. 21 questions about high school. Class of 1990. Okay, first question. Did you marry your high school sweetheart? No, I did not. I married somebody else's high school sweetheart. Okay, question 2. What type of car did you drive? OMG. That thing, okay, I actually had 2 different cars that I drove because my brother and I, there was just 2 different cars that I drove when I could get a car to drive. I had an old turd brown and like beige colored Pontiac Catalina, and that thing was a V8 engine rear-wheel drive monster. It was like the longest car, and back in that time, like in the 80s, cars were like 30 feet long. I swear to God. I had another friend who inherited an old, like, it must have been like late 70s, well, or just maybe early 70s model Cadillac, and that car, kid you not, the hood on that car was like 10 feet long, and the trunk on that car was 10 feet long. And this Pontiac Catalina was really close to that. It had, like I said, a giant V8 engine in it. The thing was a monster. And it was bench seats front and back, all, you know, rear wheel drive. Yeah, and the hood of that thing was probably 8 feet long, and the trunk of it was like easily 8 feet long. It was just not like compact cars or sedans that you see now. It was just a beast. So I learned to drive that. I learned to drive a van as well. But then my senior year of high school, I ended up getting an old hand-me-down Nissan Sentra, and this thing was the most stripped down model. It was a stick shift. It did not have a radio in it. It did not have a cigarette lighter or access port in it. It had manual windows. It had manual locks. It had no air conditioning. It was just heat, and you had to manually roll the windows down. It was literally the most stripped down model you could get. Like I said, it was a stick shift, so I did learn how to drive stick shift when I was younger. But yeah, so two cars, Pontiac Catalina that was like a boat, and then yeah, a very stripped down older Nissan Sentra. So those were what I got to drive when I could in high school. What kind of job did you have? I had two jobs. My first job was retail. I worked retail, various, wherever they told me to work, at Kmart, which that was my first job. And then through school, I did a, like, I guess you'd call it a co-op. Through school, and I got hired on at the local cable company, and was a telephone service operator person in the evenings. So people would call in and talk to me if their cable was out. I would troubleshoot their cable problems on the phone, and if we couldn't figure it out, I either determined if we had an outage in their neighborhood or I signed them up for a service call. So that was fun. I learned a lot. I actually kind of learned how to be technical. I learned how to hook up TVs and cable boxes and all that crazy wiring back in the day. So I learned a lot. It was pretty fun. And I learned, phone skills, and I learned, good computer skills at the time, because when I was in school, you guys, we didn't have access to computers other than in a couple classes. So I learned how to type on the old, like, I don't know what were they? Those old typewriters where you hit the key, and like the little arm would like reach up and smack the paper. I mean, old stuff. So it was nice getting to learn how to use a computer through that co-op job. So two different jobs. Where did you live? In my parents' house. Were you popular? No, but I wasn't unpopular. Everybody says they kind of remember me floating amongst a lot of different groups, and I did. I was trying to be friendly with as many people as I could. Like I said, it was really cliquey. I kind of kept my head down and tried to just, blend in and not get into trouble. So I wasn't popular, but I wasn't unpopular, which is a terrible thing to say. Okay, number 6. Were you in the choir or a band? No, I was not. Number 7. Did I ever get suspended? No. Number 8. If you could, would you go back? No. Do you still talk to the person that you went to prom with? Actually, I didn't go to prom. Was going to go and then didn't, just decided not to. And that person was like my best friend at the time, and he and I kept in touch for years and years and years and years. He got married. I still kept in touch, got to know his wife, kept in touch, and then they kind of just ended it. So I don't know what that was all about, but it's a shame. We were always such good friends, and yeah, I miss keeping in touch with them. They were fun people. So did you skip school? High school? No, I don't think so. I was trying to get into college, you guys. I kind of, I wanted to get into a decent school. So no. Did I go to all the football games? I went to a lot of the home games. And I don't know. I mean, I didn't go to the ones where we traveled. So no, not all of the football games. No. My favorite subject, boy, that's a good one because I had a lot of fun classes. You had your standard math and English and, um, the standard curriculum. But, as you got, junior and senior year, you got to actually start taking some fun type classes. I really enjoyed I took accounting in senior year, which is the field I went into. I really enjoyed that. And then I actually kind of a science nerd. I took astronomy my senior year, and I'm really glad that I did because I ended up taking that as my science when I went to college, and it was a 5 credit class in college, which is that's a lot. I mean, that's you're in class every single day. It's a lot, and you know what? That class was pretty easy for me because a lot of the stuff we were learning, I learned in my senior year of high school. So I really enjoyed the astronomy. I still do. I think it's fascinating. I am fascinated by our galaxy, other galaxies. And I loved my accounting class. And I went into go on to do accounting type stuff. So yeah, that would, I guess, be it. Let's see, where are we here? Do I still have my yearbook? Well, first of all, we had a yearbook every year, so I would have 4. And yeah, I do. I know they're around somewhere in a box somewhere. Somewhere. I saw them a couple years ago, so I know I have them. So that's a yes. Okay. Did you follow your original career path? Well, I think we just covered that. Yeah. I did. Sort of. I guess, you know what? I need to qualify that. I sort of did. I went into School of Business. I originally was going to go into and get an accounting degree, and I took a bunch of accounting classes, but I ended up with a general business management degree because I got really interested in human resource classes. And then there were some new general business classes for entrepreneurial type topics. So they were offering like an business entrepreneurial degree, which I didn't want to just do that because that's, so I took like accounting, human resources, and entrepreneurial classes, which gave me a general degree, but I did end up getting into the accounting field. So, yes, sort of. Okay, so number 15, your favorite teacher. Well, I think that goes back to the 2 classes that I mentioned that I really enjoyed. My accounting teacher was hysterically funny and a very, very well-known man because he was actually one of the college coaches for the college hockey team. So he was very well known in the city and in the county and kind of the state. And then like I said, I really did enjoy my astronomy class. And the professor, the guy who taught us, the teacher, he did a great job. And so I liked his class. I liked him. So other than that, my freshman English teacher, I will never forget him because he really drove us. Like, I was very shy as a freshman in high school because, there were so many new people like coming in from the other middle schools. And then you had all the older grades ahead of you, so you kind of went from a school of maybe 300 or 400, and then you got thrown into a school of like 1,000 kids, and it was like overwhelming, scary, terrifying. So I was very like quiet, and he was my English teacher, and he really pushed us. And I really appreciate that. So he let us read some really cool books. I read a lot of really, really cool books, and he really pushed us. I have to say, one of the books that I read for his class was the book Shogun, and it is, as a paperback, it's about that thick. It is 1,500 pages. It is a very, very long book. And actually, it had been made into a TV series back then. It's a phenomenal book. If you guys it's all about settlement where the West came over from Europe and kind of like started trading with Japan. It's just, you guys, it's a phenomenal book. I would read it again now, years and years, decades later, because it was such a good book. So There you go. Long-winded answer on that one. Okay, so what was your style? Oh my God. So I don't know if it's my style, but it was the styles of the time was okay. So I was in high school in the 80s, you guys. We had some crazy styles. So I remember, and it's funny because I've thought about this and talked about it actually not that long ago with some friends, some high school friends of mine. So the jeans were like what we would call a mom jeans style, like higher waisted, kind of, fluffy around the midsection. And then the thing was, they had to be long enough that you had to pin them and roll them, and they had to be rolled and pinned so they were super tight around your ankle. And then you had to have tube socks and high top sneakers. And then the other, let's see, what else was there? You had to wear, in the wintertime, you would wear a turtleneck, and over that turtleneck was a button up, long sleeved flannel shirt, guy's shirt. And you had to poof it out just right so that you had the right amount of poof around like your waist, and white turtleneck. And yeah, so it would be like buttoned down to here and had to be like the right colors of flannel. I mean, talk about the dumbest fashion stuff. So that was definitely one of our fashion styles that was like all the rage when I was in school. And then it kind of morphed into, you had to have rips and tears in your jeans so that like, right under your butt on the back of your pants would be ripped, and you had to wear cute, men's boxers that would hang out, and there would be some sort of cute print or saying on those boxers that would hang out of your ripped jeans. So dumb. And then, I mean, you guys, the styles of the 80s, scrunchies are coming back into style, and scrunchies were in style back then. And no scrunchies, you guys, no scrunchies. I don't want scrunchies. I am traumatized by the high school scrunchie thing because yes, scrunchies were all the rage, different colors, sewing them, making them. I mean, it's you guys, it's taking over YouTube right now, how to make scrunchies, and I'm just mortified. No. So yeah, hair scrunchies. And then big hair, which I think is possibly a question coming up, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it is. It's a question coming up. So like big hair, big old bangs, big hair. As big as you could make your hair. And then, so my senior year, I don't know whose idea this was. What fashion person decided to introduce neon colors? But then you had to wear neon. I mean, like highlighter neon, like these colors. Like your entire wardrobe had to be tie-dyed mixes of yellow and green and pink and orange, bright highlighter neon. I don't, you guys, that was like when I was graduating, and I don't know where that came from, and it kind of was like a 1 year flash in the pan and it disappeared, thank God. But half my closet was full of like bright highlighter colored clothing, pants, and then parachute pants were in all the rage too, because MC Hammer was hugely popular with his Can't Touch This, and his cool parachute pants suddenly became all the rage, and you had to wear parachute pants. So yeah, there's a very long-winded, crazy story about styles of clothing in high school. So my favorite shoes back in, so right about then, like, okay, so the jellies were in style, the jelly shoes. If you guys don't know what jelly shoes are, just look up jelly shoes of the 80s, and they're probably going to be neon, and they're like plastic jelly flats. So those were all the rage. I never really got too into that at all. I don't even remember if I ever owned them, but Reebok, I think Reebok was becoming introduced. And so like Reeboks were like the thing because they were so new. And remember, high tops, you had to have high tops. Okay, favorite thing to eat for lunch. Oh man. Okay, so our cafeteria in high school had this bagel sandwich that was so delicious. It was like a hot toasted bagel with melted cheese and um, some sort of, it was like a sausage, like, I don't remember, like summer sausage diced in it or something. Oh my gosh, you guys, it was so good. That I loved having that. It was a nice hot toasted like lunch sandwich thing. It would come all wrapped up, kind of like you would see like a Whopper or a Big Mac wrapped up. It was all warm, toasted. The cheese was all gooey, melty. It was really good. Favorite band in high school, I think was Def Leppard. So Def Leppard kind of rose up through my childhood. I remember they kind of came on the scene when I was leaving elementary, getting into middle school, and they were huge, huge through the 80s. So yeah, I just remember a lot of Def Leppard back then. So they were definitely one of my favorite bands. I saw a lot of concerts when I was in high school. I saw Great White. Yes, that Great White. I saw Richard Marx. He was big, and we all were in love with him. He was, you know, piano playing, gorgeous young crooning singer. Yeah, Richard Marx. I saw the Monkees. The Monkees made a huge splashback. Yeah, I saw all kinds of, oh, Poison. Poison was really good. Poison was another big band that I really loved. And they're still doing great. So not like one particular band, but yeah, a number of them. High school hair. Well, this is what I was talking about earlier. Our hair, and I had long hair back in high school, it had to be big. It had to be like big. And if you're on Facebook, you have to have seen those memes going around of like girls in the late 80s hair. And I mean, you had to like, your bangs had to be like stuck straight up. And I mean, your hair had to be huge, like huge. So yeah. And then if you didn't have it all poofed out, you had to have it poofed and pulled back in what? A scrunchie. We did have a little bit of time where we used banana clips too. So banana clips got replaced by scrunchies. Okay, last question, number 21. How old were you when you graduated? I was 18. It was great. And actually, I ran into one of my besties in high school, I don't know, about 2 months ago. And we socially distanced, met over in a restaurant over a distance table. And we sat down and caught up for like 2 hours, and it took me right back. I mean, it was like we hadn't missed a beat, so that was great. But yeah, I was an adult when I walked across the stage and got my diploma, so that was fun. Because I'm a January baby, so graduated in high school would have been June. May would have been college, so high school was June. So yeah, I was definitely an adult by then. So yeah, that was my 21 questions about high school. As you can tell, some okay, like memories of high school, but would I ever go back? No. Heck no, that was awful. So yeah, so thanks Cici for the idea on here. And like I said, I have linked Cici's trial size life below. Make sure you check her out. If you're not subscribed to her channel, go watch a couple of her videos and subscribe. She's a lot of fun. Very similar channel. So hope you guys enjoyed learning about my younger years and basically understanding how traumatized I am remembering high school. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Like I said, I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. Give this a like. Share it with your friends. Definitely leave me some comments down below. I want to know about your high school. Tell me about your high school. Tell me all about some of these questions. You know, walk me down memory lane. It's fun, sort of. Painful, but fun. So, thanks, guys. I will see you on my next video. Bye, everybody.